Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. If you've ever felt like your diet just completely falls apart the second the sun goes down, I promise you, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to unpack exactly why decision fatigue ruins diets and, much more importantly, how a few really simple strategic ingredients can completely change the game and help you build a foolproof system to beat it. We all know this exact timeline, right? It's that heavy, totally familiar fatigue that hits you on a random Tuesday. You pull into the driveway after a brutal day at work, your mental bandwidth is just zero, and you end up staring blankly at like a jar of pickles and some wilting spinach. Suddenly ordering out feels like your literal only survival option. So you close the fridge door, grab your phone, and 20 minutes later, food is on the way. Now, staring down an empty fridge when you're already starving, that is a biological setup for failure. And the culprit is decision fatigue. We so often tell ourselves we're just being lazy, but human willpower is actually a finite resource. It literally chips away with every single executive choice you have to make from morning until night. By 7 p.m., your brain isn't looking for health, it's actively hunting for the path of least resistance. So we need a massive reframe here. The myth is that you lack self-control. The reality? This isn't a discipline problem at all, it's an inventory problem. You simply cannot rely on motivation to cook from nothing at 7 p.m. If your kitchen isn't stocked with dependable, easy ingredients, eating at home requires way too much mental bandwidth. You don't lack willpower, you just haven't made it easy to eat at home yet. And this quote absolutely hits the nail on the head. When the path of least resistance is paying a stranger to cook for you, you're not actually choosing food anymore, you are choosing relief. But that relief comes at a pretty steep biological cost. You're usually getting meals packed with extra salt, heavy sugars, and cheap inflammatory seed oils. Basically, you're handing over control of your cellular fuel just to catch a break.
So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the takeout trap. Second, willpower versus decision fatigue. Third, fixing your food environment. Fourth, the emergency baseline ingredients. Fifth, the 15-minute meal formula. And finally, number 6, your 7-day action plan.
All right, section 1, the takeout trap, why the path of least resistance always wins. Think about it. Delivery apps absolutely know you don't want to wash pans. They are a massive business optimization project, and they optimize for profit using hyper-palatable ingredients. They know for a fact that a glossy, well-lit photo of an oversized, salty, high-fat meal looks completely irresistible to a depleted brain. And once your credit card is saved, boom, spending $30 requires zero friction. They're selling convenience first and food second.
Moving right along to section 2, willpower versus decision fatigue. Why it's not a discipline problem.
Look, if your house only contains random snacks, obscure condiments, or ingredients that basically require a cooking show host to prepare, takeout is mathematically guaranteed to win. Your food environment dictates what you eat long before hunger even shows up. We really have to stop shopping for the aspiring, energetic chef we imagine we'll be on Sunday afternoon and start shopping for the exhausted person we actually are on a Tuesday night. Which brings us to section 3, fixing your food environment. Taking back executive control of your kitchen. The good news? We don't need a massive, super complex grocery haul to fix this. We just need this exact matrix of 15 foods organized into 4 super simple categories: structural proteins, simple starches, frozen armor, and flavor keepers. This isn't about eating perfectly, guys. It is strictly about keeping a small, tight group of reliable foods that require almost zero brain power to turn into dinner.
Let's break those down in section 4. The emergency baseline ingredients. Foods that require almost no decisions and almost no skill.
Starting with the foundation, your structural proteins. Pasture eggs are, without a doubt, the most underrated fast meal in your kitchen, going from fridge to plate in under 10 minutes. You should always keep a dozen on hand, as a default, not just a backup. Chicken thighs, incredibly forgiving in a skillet. And wild-caught canned tuna or salmon is the ultimate shelf-stable layer for those nights you literally can't even bear to turn on a stove. Next up are clean energy, simple starches. You need a totally dependable base. Batch cooking something simple like jasmine rice on a Sunday gives you a neutral carbohydrate foundation that can turn any protein and veggie into a real meal in about 3 minutes. Sweet potatoes? You can microwave one in 7 minutes. And rolled oats cost pennies compared to a coffee shop order. Plus, they prevent those impulsive, fatigue-driven food decisions by noon. Okay, now let's talk about frozen armor. We all know the guilt of fresh vegetables just go into the crisper drawer to die. Frozen veggies solve this vegetable graveyard entirely. They are flash frozen at peak nutrition, and they completely remove the mental barrier of washing and chopping. Pre-sliced bell peppers slash prep time to 0. And frozen wild berries? They're nature's true fast food, satisfying that late-night sweet craving without the dreaded blood sugar crash.
To tie the whole shebang together without relying on heavy processed sauces, we use our flavor keepers. Extra virgin olive oil is your absolute staple cooking fat. Ditch the cheap seed oils. Onions and garlic last for weeks and magically turn a boring protein into a meal that tastes like someone actually cared. Throw in some plain Greek yogurt, a few portioned nuts, and canned tomatoes, and you've got complete control over your flavors without the fatigue.
Now, what do we do with all this? Section 5, the 15-minute meal formula. No recipes, just component assembly. Seriously, forget complicated recipes. You do not need to be a television chef to feed yourself well. Just follow this 3-step anti-fatigue assembly process. Step 1, choose a protein. Step 2, add a starch. Step 3, toss in a grain. Drizzle the whole thing with olive oil and some good salt, and you will literally have a nutrient-dense meal on the table faster than a delivery driver can even pull into your neighborhood.
Need proof? Here's the system in action. Picture this. You just combine a quick fried egg, some sautéed frozen veggies, and a scoop of that pre-cooked rice. Boom! A balanced meal in a fraction of the time it takes to order out. Or mix some canned tuna with Greek yogurt and throw it in a tortilla with spinach. Is it glamorous? Maybe not. But it bypasses decision fatigue entirely, and it works every single time.
Let's put this into practice. Section 6, your 7-day action plan. Building a repeatable system today.
Here's your challenge for the week. Listen, do not go buy all 15 foods at once. That's just more decision fatigue. Just stop by the perimeter of the grocery store today and grab 5 staples you don't already have. When you get home, put those eggs and vegetables right at eye level in the fridge, not buried in the back behind the mustard. Commit to assembling just one simple home-cooked meal this week when you're tired, and just watch how a stocked kitchen completely changes the math.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to really think about this final question, because what you repeatedly eat shapes your energy and your health. Every single reasonable choice you make to stock your kitchen is a proud, private investment in your future self. So what is one single ingredient